I feel like
Wondering
the good thing about Terrorblade is a lot of the heroes are like specialist style heroes, right? With like Arc Warden, even as like it's like, oh, that's really good versus Terrorblade. Or even I feel like Drow is in a sense kind of specialized because you need certain like styles of play that work around her, and you tend to want to have like the mid laner able to play her too. So you have this flex option with the lane setups, and it's a very frustrating hero. So it makes sense why it's so good in the mid, or sorry, so good in the first phase. But for the mid, most likely, our Death Prophet is picked up here, and of course, a very classic combination here with a False Promise.
Can you get away with a Drow this game? Because I was considering the same thing against TP. The Tiny makes it a bit scary, and Tiny AA even scarier, right? But it does seem like a solid pick with your draft and against them as well.
It's doable with Oracle for sure.
Okay.
Right. You know, I mean, already the Mars is kind of nice in that regard because you have like a way to like offer some space. But look at that, even more catch and jump to a potential backline hero now. So it's getting tougher and tougher to think about these heroes like the the Drow or the Arc Warden or something because the jump is certainly there between these two.
Last pickups here, and they banned the AM actually surprisingly against the TP.
That's a lore battle, I think.
I was about to say that. You know, the brother battle, they just don't want to have to deal with family issues on top of everything else. They're trying to qualify for TI here. They don't need all that extra stuff. Just want to focus on the game. But,
that's fair. That's fair. I can see that. I'm thinking of DNM heroes because they usually do try to play around. Like he likes the outskilling heroes a bit more. I wouldn't say he's as much as Scourge of like fine farm everywhere. He does like to play a bit more of the mobile style. I like the Spectre pickup that you suggested, Moxxi. I'm wondering what. I really do like the Drow. I don't, but now I just feel like you can get away with it with Sanking and Tiny. I think the Arc Warden is in the same pool.
Yeah, I mean they're still thinking about it. I feel like with the bans, right? They're banning more jumping heroes like the Void Spirit.
Yeah.
And then maybe even like an Ember theoretically, but there's also an Oracle and a Mars, so don't have to go for it. Plus the lane should be a bit weird. They could ban, I almost want to say Kunkka, but that might be a little bit too intense on the strength, like kind of tanky heroes and versus the percent damage of the Death Prophet. It gets a bit awkward anyway. Doom instead, okay.
Okay. Doom.
I feel like it's so scary though too for this Oracle currently with the fact that they have such a good jump being able to get onto the back lines, because that's something frequently that I see in a lot of drafts where when they pick up the Oracle, they've already locked in something that can't jump into the back and be able to blow him up before he's able to get his spells done. So it makes sense that they want to further that gap closer sort of thing, make sure that there's not as many options. But
that's a good point. And Terrorblade also very unmovable hero, so these heroes make up for it. So the more you limit this, the more D2 Hazard has to separate their fight, which is a bit harder on TP because he takes forever to join him. There's going to be the Lina, a bit more blow-up, decent lane against DP. I'm assuming this is Tiny 4 then?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess potentially it could be the Lina on the 4 as well, theoretically, because it is like the Sand King, and they could put the Tiny mid, but I think Lina mid just looks better. And that, it's kind of crazy to think that she was like by far and away the most popular hero in Eastern Europe. She was like instant priority. She was crushing every game. It felt like I'd finally regained a lot of faith in this hero after watching that region, and she's been strangely absent here today. So they find a nice pickup because she's always like, I can win any lane, pretty much, right? That's her job. So even if you want to go for this earlier DP, that's there. There's options if they wanted to put like the Mars mid. I think we've seen that a couple times, but because it's just like a matter of who you think is going to activate your lineup more and based on the safe lane matchup for the Death Prophet. But I think in this game, it's probably just going to stay DP mid.
Yeah. Because you can't get away with the Mars mid, I feel like, against Selena. He's good against most matchups melee against Selena. I think it's a bit too much.
I've seen it a couple times because like the 4 matchup sometimes it's like worth it, but I don't think so.
Let's see how much courage 5ManMidas has.
Yeah.
From Arc Warden to Wraith King. Let's see what they decide to pick up here.
Or they go boring and like jug it up or something and just try and go for it. But there she is, Moxxi, and yeah, I do actually agree with what you said before. Like I've seen this tried because logically it makes some sense. You have big magic damage versus and like some AoE like clearance stuff versus the illusions, but you get reflected and then the aura's back and there's glaives are hitting your own team. I think we even saw this yesterday. So winnable, but certainly not a counter pick by any means, I don't think.
And they put the tiny mid actually in the end for Hustlers, which I actually think makes sense now seeing the Luna. Not only can you burst her equally as quick, but a bit better, but as 4 tiny, difficult to get close to that Eclipse. You have one more jumper to deal with the Oracle, now as he has much more value. Makes sense to give the tiny a bit more priority and still get a good lane in the offlane. We'll see how that works out. What are your thoughts on the draft here, Moxxi? Who do you prefer here?
I've just seen too many Lunas fail against Terrablaze, to be perfectly honest. I also think that 1437 on this Lena being able to put out a lot of harass, being paired up with Divine Llama, like that lane's scary. Like you have to be so careful in the way that you approach because you've got multiple stuns, you've got a lot of harass coming out from Lena and whatnot. Oracle's got to play this so carefully that he doesn't step out. I'm going on the side of the Hustlers. It looks like a solid draft.
Trent?
Oh yeah, I'm having a hard time disagreeing. I'm trying to think, how do I make this game look good for 5ManMidas? And I suppose it comes down to the Mars and the Willow, right? Sort of how you're pointing out the Sand King and likely the Lena pairing together to try and pressure this Luna. This is Dark Willow and Mars. I mean, they're known for being one of the more aggressive and kill-centric duos when it comes to the off lanes. So hoping that they'll be able to make an even battle in that regard across the map, because one of these offlane duos could easily take over this match if they get the snowball rolling.
All right, who's going to win? Gold or Style? We'll see. In game number 1 between 5ManMidas and D2 Hustlers, casted by the one and only Trent and Moxxi. Come.
Who's is so I know that is 5ManMidas's voice line. Who was actually saying it though?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is the context on this? Boy, between the throat singing, like the overtones are like driving me crazy because I had a whole career in music before this, and I'm just clued, and I'm like, oh man, listen to those nice overtones with the throat singing, and then you have just that line over and over. The ooh, what is he doing there? I'm just, oh man, this is gonna be a hard cast.
I think you should try your hand at it, but okay, no throat singing. Stats don't lie. Top 10 women heroes in the TI10 quals. Oracle, wow, first and Willow third. Damn. Okay, so mathematically, 5ManMidas have already won.
Yeah, Oracle
I
is
think that's
a
what I'm
good
supposed
hero.
to get from that. Yeah. Oh, look at these high fives.
I know it's actually insane the amount of high fiving that they're getting done here.
Don't tell them that it doesn't count for your battle pass in a private lobby. They will not be happy.
All right, we have the horn sounding. Should be able to get a nice even split in terms of these runes. I have to say, I was scared for the side of 5ManMidas because whenever I see this Ancient Apparition and a tiny combo, it just starts to just get out of control towards the mid game, the way that they move around together. And I'm thinking that we'll probably see something very similar happen here in this particular match.
Yeah, of course, it does depend on how the game starts out for the Tiny. This is one of the most like hot and cold heroes in my eyes. Like some games it looks incredible, and other games it feels like they just like never get off the ground. They get bogged down by a couple of roots or something. And I mean, you ever miss a combo in the early game, and it feels like you've just wasted like 2 minutes of your life. So I have to be a little bit cautious on those plays, but it is certainly a great game for just blowing up targets. If he gets the combo, everyone dies, except Mars.
Well, I mean, it depends on the Oracle too, right? Because the Oracle's got to have such good positioning this entire game, making sure that, you know, you keep alive. The Death Prophet is very susceptible for any sort of burst damage. And on the flip side of that, though, too, like Luna is not the tankiest of heroes. She is very, very squishy, a glass cannon, so to speak. It'll be very interesting. Ray's got his work cut out for him this game, I think, despite the fact that the stats look very nice in terms of picking up that Oracle.
Yeah, that's always gonna be the thing about these Agi carries too, is that their way of accelerating pretty much never gains any sort of strength or something. Like something you get lifesteal, but that doesn't really help you versus a Tiny's. Nice toss play there from Papa Tootie. That is value, baby.
Yeah, I had to pop his Fairy Fire for that too, just because he got a little bit too nervous.
Oh, Burrow, after an LSA down bottom, Ray is taking a lot of damage from just one little misstep and zero punishment at all on the Hustlers. That's going to cost the Salve. Sir, that is not your Salve. That is your Luna Salve. Oh, he got the ward, though. Nice play.
That's all right. He's going to make it back, you know. It's going to take a while for it to arrive, but he'll have it again. But yeah, you know, we talked about this during the draft. This is a kill lane. This is a lot of stun damage that can come out. None of them are particularly super tanky. Granted, you know, you will be able to get a Fortune Send-Off occasionally try to purge off some things, but it's still very, very scary for these heroes over on the side of 5ManMidas to approach the Lina and Sand King down here.
I think the best thing that he's doing on the Oracle is just like tanking all this, and yeah, you know, I joke about like taking a carry salve, but that whole time the DNM's just at least in the wave and having a chance at some of these creeps, because there's a good chance that those spells now land on your Luna instead, and you're just like mega depressed. So something's going well for them for sure, as they do get the pull into the camp though, and that's gonna tilt this creep equilibrium heavily in the favor of the Hustlers.
Mid lane too, we see that Papatuti took a lot of damage trying to do some harassment over onto RLL. Spirit Siphon, of course, coming in very handy when you're up against a melee core, so they're all looking pretty healthy here right now.
And up top, we're not really finding the big pressure quite yet. But I mean, they're only level 2, right? So looking for like probably level 3 on the Mars before you want to go for like a couple spear plays or something. Because I mean, Yuma has 640 HP, just very scary versus Lineblocks. But he's actually already up to 11 charges on his wand too. So big value is Papatuti narrowly surviving in the mid. Has himself to a bounty rune. Excellent stuff.
I mean, this is a situation where you want to see Aikster and Lies going after Pendago if possible. This is the more likely of the kills. Yuma's going to take a lot of chipping away to be able to bring down a Terror Blade with this much armor this early. But nice find here on the Courier. That is the band of Elven Skin. That gets sniped here by 1437. So that's a very sad Luna.
Yeah, he's just in there. Now he's body blocking the camp. He's all over Ray, hitting with LSAs, and there's really not much Ray can do about it. He can't really contest and turn on the Lina at all, so he's just going to have to wait for his time. Hopefully level 3, of course, tends to be the breaking point for an Oracle where you can actually get a little bit aggressive, and Luna also has the 2 points in the Lucent team, so they've got something.
They had a little bit of miscommunication here coming out from the side of Hustlers because there was a Burrow Strike over to DNM, but the LSA came out at the same time, landed on Ray. I think if they had stacked those properly, they might have been able to do some serious damage. Perhaps get a kill on Ray as well, who's sitting very low.
Yeah, they're making cheap plays now. And yeah, Ray, barely living. So now that he has 2 points in the Purifying Flames, they're flaming the range creep as it goes by and then double denying. So they're keeping that out of the hands of Divine Llama, and that's going to help bring this wave under the tower. So now, just be cautious about the potential dives here from over 37 and Divine Llama.
Top lane, the aggression is on over here at Lies. Sitting very, very low. Is forced to pop his stick. Dago trying to hunt. He's chasing after this Willow here. Yuma with that meta. They'll slow down Aches. They have to be careful. The Lies coming through with the spear. We'll push Yuma back over onto the tree, but the harass has been done.
Under tower bottom, though. Dead.
Oh yeah, they find DNM, they've got the dive capabilities, and 1437 just clicking away over here. Ray's tanking a bit of this tower, has to be careful. Let's get rooted into place, but that is the second salve that Ray is going to be forced to use on himself as Divine Llama coming around the corner here. LSA not going to quite connect, but they're going to start clicking away. You know, it feels bad right now for Ray because he is just going to get handled. A couple clicks, down he goes. Maybe Luna can go and figure out, get maybe a kill here. As 1437 is forced to run that Lucent Beam, doing a little bit of damage. Not quite enough to take him down.
I actually thought he was just going to run to the tower, but doesn't want to give up the bounty. Just head on home. So he'll be back very shortly, and I mean, the lane's going to push in too with this catapult as well, so no real concerns. So even pulling the creeps over. Oh, he's guaranteeing things here. Very nice. Everything coming up right now for the Hustlers.
Playing their lanes very, very nicely right now. We do see the rotations over towards this mid lane. We've got the level 6 on the Death Prophet. Ray and Aikster both here. They've refilled the bottle as well. So they'll get some dewarding done and start to position around this middle tower, it seems.
Oh, I know this one, because they have Exorcism. Am I right, Moxxi?
Sure.
Is that how we play Dota?
Yes, that is, I mean, I was wondering if they were going to, instead of trying to push down the mid, try to put pressure on top and then rotate the Luna up, because she's having difficulty in this bottom lane.
Yeah,
in fact, he's just backing off.
That's a great call. Could easily happen. I mean, that's part of the power of the Death Prophet, too. I mean, they're probably waiting for the 6 on Lies, and we might see them do exactly that. I love the high five between the opponents in the mid lane, though. That was cute.
Everybody's vibing, man. They're here for good vibes and fun Dota, and, you know, eventually one of them is going to go further and hopefully make it to TI. I like how it starts up very chill, and I was like, yeah, maybe not. But...
And then eventually compete in the greatest esports competition in the world. It's just some very chill stuff. And like a prophet, Moxxi, you called it. They're up top. Unfortunately, their mid lane's in trouble.
Mid lane's in trouble. Ray is buying a bit more time here, though, as he is breaking some ankles. He's throwing out all of his spells to ensure that there's a minimal amount of magic damage. But they do find a kill on DNM in the bottom lane. So this is very bad because now, guess what Divine Llama has?
A tower.
He has a blink dagger, sir. That's the bigger one. Papa Tui, though, over here.
What? Is serious? He's a blink? What?
I think, yeah.
He does.
Doth my eyes deceive me? It is on its way, as this exorcism is ending, though. So they took the top tower over on the side of 5ManMidas. But yeah, that is very scary. Divine Llama is going to be up in your business very early now. Over here again, though, RRL spotted out. Do they have the root? They'll be able to slow down just a little bit, but Papa Tui, the follow-up here. Divine Llama a little bit off the mark, but he's going to give a couple blinks over here to RL, get some vision, throw the tree, and that's a kill for Papa Tui.
Not the best reveal on the old blink dagger, but you'll take it, right? He got the tip from Papa Tui.
He's still proud of the fact he got his blink dagger at, 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's always a tough call because, like, Blink obviously does nothing unless you're killing people, Like, okay, sure, you can move around the map a little bit faster, you can argue, but, like, this could be, like, a Midas. He could have got, like, greedier and went for, like, a Radiance or something this game, but he went for the Blink, so that's a lot of pressure. Oh,
well, he can't blink out of this right now. He's going to have to burrow strike his way through, but that's a nice Curse Crown. We'll connect over onto 2 of them. Toss up into the air, though. They'll be able to blow up Aegster. And this tower is still going down, this meta up and running. They're looking, they try to go for the denial, and they do manage to find it on Lies. But that is a tower destroyed here.
Blink doing work, making space, making crazy plays, and baiting the enemy because they have to target you now, right, with his Blink dagger. Like, you're just such a huge threat.
That's getting very close. So this is what I expected to see here coming out from Pandago and Papa Tui, just making sure that they're putting pressure on the map, taking advantage of that ice vortex and all the other skills. Once we get the 6 online for Pandago, I think it's even more scary, but...
We're probably hoping to, like, block Ancients, too, there. No such luck, though.
Luna is doing the play like we talked about, though. The tower got taken, so you're going to see DNM trying to farm up. But Pandago, of course, does spot this. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them make some sort of a sweep and try to push DNM out.
This is why I prefer the Dire side Luna, because I feel like this part's kind of ugly. I don't know. That like top area where like running through the river and like back to your ancient camp, it never feels that safe to me. So I really like that they put that obs up on the high ground like that and try and ensure they've got that covered. Divine Llama with the 10th fastest blink dagger of the patch. What? On any hero? Holy moly.
Wow.
That's impressive. 10th fastest blink this patch. Well done.
This has been a pretty...
Again, it has its risks, for sure.
Papa Tui finalize the toss up into the air with the burrow strike, and Lena will say thank you very much as she gets the final head off.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. A rune of opportunity coming into play there with the invis. Tiny doesn't have a blink yet, but that'll do for you instead. Oh, is he going to take that tome? Oh, did you see that? Even used the tome even though he was already level 6. Wow. Because you know what? They're both really farmed. So look at that. Pandago already 6, and now we got level 7 Lena. He's got crazy big damage right now. That early point in the Fiery Soul, too, for the big old right clicks. Feeling it right now. Everything just going the way that the Hustlers are aiming for here. I guess RRL maybe wants to try and lead his team into another objective soon with an Exorcism. It kind of seems like the only play they're going to have.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty scary, the fact that already this Terrorblade is sitting very, very close, neck and neck with the Luna. This is a hero that farms pretty quickly, especially when that meta's up, being able to also put pressure on buildings. And then, of course, you know, the Sand King Divine Llama having a great game so far here.
And Oxel actually had an additional point on that, where 3 of the 9 faster daggers have been losses. So kind of interesting there.
I want to know how fast Miracle's Blink Dagger was when he played at mid. I'm wondering if that's one of those up there.
Yeah, perhaps.
I'm not
the
sure.
Sand
I mean, it would
Kings,
make sense, right?
I know. They just get the gold. And, well, here it is. This is the... somewhat forced play coming out from 5ManMidas. Like, their Luna just needs to farm. They need to have something happen on this game because they're slowly falling behind. They don't have any kills yet, so they're They need this, and I feel like the Llama knows what's happening. The way he's playing, hiding behind these trees, he's going to get some sweet, fast blink out here, and then the tips will fly, and that'll be the mental victory. It'll just be GG at that point.
Wow, okay, you call me the Oracle, and you're giving us a whole rundown of how everything's going.
It breaks you. You know, I've been that 5ManMidas team before where you're like, okay, guys, this is their big play, and then someone goes for the initiation, and the guy just blinks away, and you're like, all right, well, that's so good.
All right, well, the pressure is on here on this mid tower. They do have the Exorcism. They've got a double damage bottled up here. So they'll go for the Exo. Get this stun off. The Llama thinking about channeling in, but gonna just play around a little bit. You can see this rotation. They want to protect it.
They didn't ward him behind the tower, so it's very hard to make this play.
They know Papatuti's here. They have a ward over here on the side. They're thinking it out. Playing a bit carefully. Gonna try to put out a little bit more damage on the tower.
I just keep hearing Divine Llama like panning over and he's just sitting.
Yep.
Thank you for the change, just saying, King Ice Frog.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, nice. The sentry does actually catch that obs too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, well, that was a lot of wasted time.
I mean, you gotta give props to the Hustlers for just showing up over here and slowing them down. That was an Exorcism used, and they didn't get an objective off of it. They didn't get any kills. They didn't get anything, so... Device?
Yeah.
Is he gonna go this time? He's going this time. He wants Egster.
Uh-oh. Oh, he better not live there.
Yeah, well, not quite. There it is. At the last second, the pop.
Yeah, because Pandego didn't send the ulti, right? He had the Tracer over it, but he didn't want to, like, steal the kill or whatever, and he's like, oh, you're gonna get it anyway? So, wow, shit with Pandego. I don't have that, much reserve in myself to hold there. But what I actually like about that play was they did give a ton of time to the Luna. Yeah, it was kind of wasted, but you could argue it's equally wasted for a lot of the heroes on the side of the Hustlers because they were, you know, camping around and waiting on like the Lina, the AA, the Sand King, and Papatuti was just like lurking on the Radiant side, not farming for a little bit. So it's not all was lost there, as the Luna does still stand above the TB. But you know, if a fight were to occur right now, I still feel like I'd be favoring the Hustlers.
Yeah, I think it depends, too, if the meta's up or not. But we do have a knock stat for everybody here. Miracle's record this patch was 8 minutes and 22 seconds. But he also went 0, 11, and 13 with it. So maybe not the best stat here to compare. Thank you,
Divine Llama already way ahead of that. 3, 0, and 3. So
look at him go.
Good. Yeah.
Sand King go brrr.
Using my personally most hated taunt that Sunsfan loves. The noise from this one drives me nuts.
This is a very dead Luna, everything thrown at her, and you just can't show up on the waves with what Hustler brings for ganks here.
Yeah, excellent board
there.
Yeah, you know that's where like the Luna wants to rotate through, so you just cover between that high ground as well as the river and just get a good idea of what she's trying to do. And now you can pressure that tower. You could go into the Ancients. They're a little hesitant, I think, because they don't have the epicenter quite yet, so just hanging back. They actually send through the TB illusion, so now they have a great idea what's happening over here. Very good stuff.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's looking very hard for 5ManMidas to find a favorable engagement, especially when you consider like their tools that they have. I feel like Llama wants the jump if they can find it.
Look at them just chasing RL mid. That was crazy. They're like pinging him. Like, Divine Llama's like blinking as far as he can. How is he still gonna die? No, surely he won't die. Wow, what a toss back. What a save. Oh my god, this DP is so tempting. But she's got the hood. She's trying to bait this out, but she does not have that much backup, dude. I would be very scared.
I mean, they do have a sentry over here too, so Divine has to be careful he's not getting too big for his britches here. They have 3 here. They're considering it possibly.
Disrespecting you. There's no way he's allowed to live right now. I mean, now Ray is in range for the save.
Look at it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, she's gonna get tossed far away from the Oracle, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Okay, there it is. There's the burst. Oh, it's just a little love tap. Okay. What are they trying to bait here?
I guess the Oracle to show. Maybe try and force out a bad false promise.
Maybe? I guess. Yeah. But what else is going on? Yuma's in the bottom lane. He's got a Cardi, and they're putting pressure on the tower.
Yeah, this is not a good
control
trade.
The map. Yeah, they go for a smoke play over on 5ManMidas, but they're going up into the high ground. So 1437 immediately showing up. Ice Blast coming in. Papatuti just blowing up over here on everyone. Do they have the save, though, as they follow up? And if you said, did they get the kill? They do get an arena off, but they'll only manage to get Divine Llama for it. So they do manage to keep them alive a little bit long. Oh, Inkster's here! And that's a dead RRL. They'll get themselves a courier on top of that. They were lulled into a false sense of security, I think.
Oh man, I thought that was the air grade aluminum on the keyboard. I think it might be on the Terrorblade too. A little flight path there into the middle of 5ManMidas to clean up some heroes. And now an outpost. Easy Dota too. Yeah, charge indeed.
Good old banjo charge. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do here. I feel like Luna is. She's not super far behind by any means, but this is definitely a situation where Terrorblade just feels way more powerful. He's working on the Scotty next. How do they move around? How do they make the space now? Brad?
Smoke Arena. It's like all they can do, honestly, is try and go for that. RL is crazy tanky now with its Eternal Shroud. That is for sure. So that is something. They would also love to get a Philosopher's Stone. I know they've now picked one up on the Dire. I haven't actually looked at the Radiant neutrals. What do we got? Pupils, Imp Claw. Oh, nice. The Grove Bow. Okay, that's good news for Luna.
Yeah. Pandago sees that Philosopher's Stone. He says, "Gimme, gimme."
Yeah.
The dream of every position 5 support that can't clear waves easily. Playing tight though over on the side of 5ManMidas. It just stinks because I feel like they have this exorcism and it just hasn't been super effective. Really, they've gotten one tower with it, but.
It just feels like the Hustlers are much better at picking their team fights right now, just because like the nature of the heroes and the advantage they have. And they have the Blink Arena, though. Does he have Dust? Does anyone have Dust?
They dropped a Sentry.
Dark Willow. Okay.
They've dropped a Sentry off here to the side, but they're just not getting the jumps that they want here at all.
And this mid tower, I mean, the pressure is there. Lena, a great support for doing this. Very casually, very low effort push, no commitment whatsoever, and she looks like she's alone, but in reality, she is well guarded by her allies here.
They know that she's got to be protected. There's no way that they take this bait as RL Eldo. Double down, toss up into the air. And Lela say to boot. They do manage to get the save off, though, right? With the quick fingers, we'll be able to throw out the False Promise. Ice Blast comes in. We'll land over onto 2. They can think about re-engaging here as the False Promise will end. Death Prophet, very, very healthy. You can see Divine Llama. Every time he starts channeling, I'm like, oh, is it time? And then he cancels it on me, and I get debated. Thanks for that, Divine Llama. But they are making some time for Luna here. DNM is finding some farm over in the Dire jungle.
Really showing the value of that Eternal Shroud, though. Actually able to survive through all of that. It is a very, singular type of damage for right now from the Hustlers, since the Terrorblade's obviously spending so much time farming. They don't really have any physical damage to worry about, so just all-inning like this on the Eternal Shroud definitely worked out in this case.
Oh, Wakester. In comes Lena, and pop goes the Dark Willow.
Pandago just hastening here for some more. That's the Glimmer, so feeling aggressive.
Oh, RL. Okay, they'll manage to go and land the Ice Blast Papatuity. Trying to put some pressure on RL. But like you said, very tanky. It's an interesting build. I haven't seen a lot of this.
They haven't even bothered to run away. And 20 minutes. Oh, this is...
there it is. All right, there's an arena, but where's your dust? Where's your detection? As over on the back lines, 1437 finds the kill. RL here, there's a big Laguna Blade. They'll blow up RL, Pandago falling, lies next to go down. They've lost 3 over on the side of 5ManMidas.
Wow. Take that, Knoxville. Now they have 2 kills and not 1. Unfortunately, it was after 20 minutes. But hey, at least they're getting themselves out of the real bad stats.
Luna just TPing out. Papatuity wanted that so badly. But into the pit they go. First Aegis Scotty completed for Yuma. This game is just looking so difficult for the side of 5ManMidas.
I mean, all they can do is just bank everything on like some sort of glorious miracle of a ultimate where you just like come through and wipe everybody or something with the Eclipse, but obviously that is a very difficult thing to do. RRL struggling to get some actual damage in there. Lies really having a hard time with these arenas. I feel like he's not able to get any sort of like these primo targets, and even if he does, there's a lot of counter initiation plays. I'm expecting a Sunder save from Yuma after they finally look like they're going to get a big kill. It's going to be this big old Sunder, and the mental break will occur. This game just kind of plays itself for the Hustlers at this point.
Yeah, I think the mental cracks are already starting here. Just because it's been very difficult for this Luna. You know, hats off to DNM. He is trying to find any sort of breathing room he can. The team trying their best to also find, you know, these engagements, but they're starting to slide pretty far behind now. It just feels like, you know, you have to commit so many things to try to get a good team fight, and you can't even do a full team fight. It's got to be, you know, pickoffs over on the side of 5ManMidas, and when you know that those big spells are down, that just opens the door for hustlers to collapse on you.
Yeah, part of that problem is that, oh, there you go. Oh, nice stun. That's
That
a good
is
target.
an oracle that you don't have to worry about. There's not going to be any more spells coming forward. Nice quick hit and run coming out from the side of the hustlers. Turn back around. Reflection off. Nice LSA coming out from 1437. Ice Blast comes in, followed up with the damage. RL's dead. Lies is also dead.
Man, he is huge on this Lino with the boots of travel. See how fast he was with the Fiery Soul going? He's moving at 508 right now as a position 4 hero. And like part of the problem is that 5ManMidas are forced to play as this like tight-knit foursome while the Luna's farming. Because the Dota 2 Hustlers have amazing pickoff. There's no doubt about that. And so you're hoping that the save can be there from like the arena or from the false promise or something. But in the end, you're almost just like setting yourselves up for failure because like if they get the first burst down, then everyone is just forced to like cut and run, and they're just chased down by this speedy Luna. And well, I'm almost hoping that we get another merciful GG here, but this game, yeah, it's looking real rough. Oh, there it is.
Trying. They'll get the kill over onto Papa Tootie. That's one thing here. But the BKB was popped. That is a big ultimate. How do you push them away now is the question. Because you have a Terrorblade right now. Yuma's sitting 4-0-3 with an Aegis, with the Scotty, with a Sunder. It's pretty difficult, but, you know, they're still trying. They'll smoke, try to get a little extra speed here. They do have the Blink Dagger over on Lies. They're going to have the arena up in about 4 seconds here. Can they get their hands on Divine Llama? It's going to be hard, though. He's a Sand King. He's got ways to deal with this. As they jump forward, they'll follow up with the Spear of the Silence. Helps quite a bit. The root coming into play. Can they burst him down in time, though? As they go for the Exorcism, Ice Blast comes in. And they're just not able to find anything. And it feels like RL, he doesn't quite know what he wants to do. He wants to try to make use of this Exorcism, as Aexter does fall on the back lines, but they just don't have the follow-up right now. And yeah, he's tanky. Look at right. He's teleporting out. It's just not enough damage, and this is just not going to be a living death prophet, living up to her name, dying there.
I like the play, honestly. Like they got a punish on the Tiny from the initial blinking from Papa Tootie. He went for the like I'm gonna end the game play, and if they manage to like kill DNM before he like BKBs or something there, they just GG out.
But there's no BKB, and there's an Invis rune on Papa Tootie here. He's chasing after Luna. Look at the TP coming out too from Sand King. They're just keeping
needs more
tabs
help
on
though.
him. Yeah, well, I mean, here comes Yuma. I think he's going to be a big help as they turn it right back around. There's the BKB, though. They do manage to throw it out, but he doesn't have a teleport for another 33-something seconds here. Aexter joining on in, trying to buy just a little bit more time, but Luna, she's not going to be able to survive this. She is dead. And Aexter and Lies have to be so careful now as Pendago over on the side trying to get any sort of information vision. They do have that nice ward spotting out Wraith. They want to try to make a jump, but Luna's down for 50-something seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they just want to continue to play it a little bit safe. You know, there's not any creep wave in range. They've been blown up, so we'll just chill out, farm their jungle. Luna's not going to do anything. Hopefully we're not going to have to wait till the next Roche here, as this one's set to expire in 45 seconds. I think the Hustlers are free to pretty much do whatever they want on this map. I mean, you see 1437 just pushing bottom with his boots of travel. If he reveals himself, they could maybe go for a jump play or something with the arena, but
I don't think you want to, considering they're knocking on your door right now pretty much with taking out the final outer tower.
Yeah, I just think they've shown that if they're not full strength, they might actually back. So you could like go for a cutesy thing on trying to like grab Papa Tootie or something.
True.
It's real ugly right now for the 5ManMidas. Excellent play so far from the Hustlers. I wasn't expecting them to do so well up against this lineup, just because they, they've obviously looked fairly formidable in some of their matchups in the Division 1 in NA. So the Hustlers not really getting a chance to prove themselves there yet. As nice hit there on the LSA. That was from Fog and easy peasy thanks to the Aether Lens.
Yeah, that Ice Blast was not needed at all from Pandago. They just absolutely obliterate there. But yeah, so now Dark Willow for about 18 seconds. Do they try to... It looks like they're going to just be patient, though. They've got a 16k net worth league. Oh, we have the fun meme number at the top now, Trent. Clearly,
yes.
That was the play. They wanted to delight our eyes with the number.
Very good. Well done, 5ManMidas. Or perhaps well done, Hustlers. Maybe they could have ended earlier if they wanted to. Lies is having some fun. He's doing some like dances and circles in the well, or the base rather. You know, he's chilling.
I mean, what else can he really do right now? If he jumps in, he just immediately gets blown up, it feels. Especially now they've got a BKB picked up over on Yuma, but they're going to walk out of their base. Perhaps see if they can pick off someone, clean up their jungle.
All right, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic.
Oh,
Classic. I would have panicked too. I know myself. It was too close. It was out of fog. Wouldn't have been looking at my smoke. I wasn't expecting an illusion. Hurts. So that smoke up's going to get detected, I would say.
I mean, it could have been worse, right? Because they could have used the illusion and then they could have gone in for another engagement over on the side of Hustlers. At least, you know, yes, it was a wasted smoke, but they didn't end up losing anyone for it. And they didn't end up using any ultimates, right?
Yeah, we'll take the nice parts of that one. And unfortunately, I don't think they have any more smokes, and they just placed a fresh Observer Sentry combo here from Pandago, so now they're watching them all leave the base.
Yeah, look at this. Divine Llama waiting patiently off to the side. Let's go for a little Sandy Storm over here.
Even scanned that they're all lurking there. That sentry doesn't reach where he's sitting right now.
Oh, all right. They did a jump forward on Lies, but... All right, there's the Yules coming into play. Perhaps they can make something happen, but the BKB coming out from Yuma with this meta doing so much work over here as they're just putting the damage down on Lies. He's the first one to fall. The Exorcism does get popped, but this is not looking good now for the Death Prophet. She is Yules up into the air. They have all the stun, all the control. They will blow up RRL. There is no Mars, no Death Prophet. Aegster getting tossed up into the air. He is the next one to go down, and the only person who's still alive is D&M on the Luna. They call GG. They realize this is just too much of an uphill battle for them. 20k net worth lead at 29 minutes in.
They're going to try and save the stats a little bit here as that one finishes out here. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, not a whole lot more to put into that game. The Hustlers absolutely crushing it, and that combo of the Lina and the Sand, I think, really helping to define this game. They absolutely ruined anything the Luna could do. She got pushed out of the tower really early, and they had some nice plays early with like attempts to pressure the mid tower and everything, but it felt like the Hustlers were just always ready for what they were up to.
Definitely felt like the Hustlers knew what their plan is over on the side of 5ManMidas. Of course, you know, you said it yourself. Oh, level 6 Exorcism. I think that's what they're going to do. You know, that is the standard play. But they put so much pressure down on the map, there just was no recovery room. And then, of course, it's a Luna going up against a Terrorblade who's already ahead of the game. It's just too difficult. But, you know, 5ManMidas, they tried their best here. They tried to, you know, see if they could even it out. But D2 Hustlers are looking very strong. So we're going to go to a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk about it a little more in depth.